Hello people of Tyria, my name is Cloud from Blackcloud Gaming and I'm here to talk to you guys about Shadow of the Mad King. This year we're going to be having a lot of new players to Guild Wars 2 and not a lot of them know anything about the Mad King. The Mad King is a yearly Halloween event that, the Mad King comes every year. He's awesome, he's really fun, and I think it's, time that you guys get to know him a little bit, what he's all about. So Halloween has a long history in Tyria, and in times past was always marked by the spirit of the Mad King Thorn, cavorting among the people, unleashing his own brand of insanity. However, it's been over 250 years since he has last been seen, and for most people he is merely a figure of folklore. Despite this, rumors persist among the populace that something wicked this way comes. Now, before I go any deeper in this, I will admit I'm going to be scripting a lot of this obviously, but this is mainly for informational purposes for people who don't know a lot about Guild Wars 2, who are new to the game. I don't know anything about Mad King Thorn, who is an amazing character in the game. He's like one of my favorite NPCs ever. I love the Mad King, he's awesome. Despite what you're going to hear in his history and how he is, but he's really fun when he comes to Tyria. So, a little history on Mad King Thorn. So, the Mad King as a young man, Prince Oswald was a prolific, that's his actual name too, Prince Oswald, they call him the Mad King for short, but I guess Prince Oswald, aka Mad King, was a prolific prankster and troublemaker and was responsible for the deaths of both Serene and Samson through negligence. But as a second son, he was not expected to ascend to the throne. Nevertheless, he schemed his way to the throne, murdering his well-liked elder brother, Prince Ewan, and later his father, but not before taking his brother's betrothed Lady Lyrica as his wife and having her assassinated. So just to backtrack, Serene and Samson, if you guys are curious, Serene was a young Crichton noble girl and a friend of Prince Ewan Thorn and Lady Lyrica and of Prince Oswald Thorn. She had a crush on Ewan, but was unfortunately killed when Oswald fed I'm sorry, this part's kind of funny, but he fed hot peppers to her horse, which caused it to go mad with pain and trample her to death. Her last memory is him smiling as she died. It's kind of dark there, but I mean, I just find it funny that he used that to kill kill the girl. The other person that he also killed was Samson. Samson was a childhood friend of Prince Ewan Thorn and Oswald Thorn. He was playing with Oswald one day when a giant worm grabbed him. Oswald fled for his life, abandoning his friend to die. No, I mean, it's not really. He didn't murder them. Oh, he was responsible for the deaths. Okay, so I wouldn't call it responsible if he got eaten by a worm and he just ran away, but whatever. So obviously we just talked about Prince Ewan, which is his brother, was the elder brother of Oswald Thorn, later known as the Mad King Thorn. He was kind and popular and refused to believe the terrible things others said about his brother. He truly cared for his younger brother. However, his naivety proved to be his undoing when young Oswald tricked Ewan into being devoured by a giant spider in order to take his place as heir to the throne. Despite this, Ewan still seems to care for his brother, asking us, if his brother is okay. So, typical Mad King, assassination to ascend the throne of power, all that. And he took his wife, Lady Lyrica, to be his own, who was a noble and friend to Prince Ewan Thorn, Prince Oswald Thorn, and Serene. She had a servant named Tina. We're not going to get too much into her, but she was also murdered by Oswald for defending Lyrica. She was in love with Prince Ewan, but her hopes for a future with him were dashed when he died. Oswald knew she loved Ewan, and because of this, she wanted him for his own. He won her over with lies and false promises, but once they were married, he dropped the farce, and yeah, I said farce, and she saw him for what he truly was. He had her assassinated by brigands. So pretty much anyone that questioned or threatened Oswald, aka Mad King Thorn's power, was immediately killed, I guess. He has a bit of a dark past in history, so I guess a lot of people might, resent and hate him for it, but I can't help but love the Mad King. But anyway, going through to his story, the reign of King Thorn was nasty, brutish, and short. His first act as king was to execute Lord Humphrey Farron for accusing him of murdering his father, declaring all traitors would be punished without delay. Again, going back to that, his power is being questioned. He's going to have anyone removed from that because of that, So early in his reign, Crichton King Thorn proposed a treaty to the Centaurian tribes, and the Centaurs rejected its terms as unfavorable. Later famine and drought struck Tyria. I'm sorry, not Tyria, excuse me, Crita. I can't talk. Later famine and drought struck Crita, but the high taxes drove some peasants to theft and others to starvation. King Thorn rounded up all citizens who were even suspected of theft and cut off their hands. He kidnapped the father of the island Istani Princess Zola and ransomed him. Princess? Oh, I read that wrong, sorry. And ransomed him for her hand in marriage, but had her executed when he grew tired of her, sparking a war with Istan, in which Crito was ultimately victorious. So, that's a lot to take in right there. I mean, going back, as I said, that anyone that threatened his power, he immediately, sought punishment. So he wanted to be the ruler, he wanted to be on top. I mean, he killed his brother, killed two friends, and he's killing other guys. He was the first king to execute Lord Humphrey Farron. So Lord Humphrey Farron was a noble and victim of Mad King Oswald Thorn. He was named a traitor and beheaded for accusing Oswald for murdering his father in order to ascend the throne. In death, he is accompanied by two skeletons who promptly behead him and laugh. But he also eagerly awaits the day that the Mad King Thorn faces justice for his crimes. So this is a lot of information to take in. I can see why a lot of people would be like, "Oh, fuck the Mad King." He's a Mad King. He's crazy. So Mad King Thorn had 8 wives in total. The other known wives include Estrella, who was killed by Oswald when he put her in a coffin full of rats and dumped her into the sea, and Henrietta, who was killed by his heir, Prince Edric. There was also Edric's mother, whose name is still unknown, who was beheaded on his birthday. Oswald views his son to be a disappointment, and after a failed coup attempt on the final night of his rule, stuffed his son's mouth with candy corn and had him locked in the shell of insanity. Whoa. So, was it Prince Edric? Okay. So he's just going on a random killing spree, so that's just more to add to that. Anyway, so his tyranny came to an end in approximately 825 AE when an angry mob stormed Castle Thorn, ending his earthly rule. The rebels intended to kill his 8th wife and son as well during the assault, ending the Thorn dynasty, and beseech his cousin to take the throne and plead forgiveness. Worried that he would try to return using his magic, his killers hid his body parts in boxes and buried them in locations scattered across Tyria, obscuring their locations with magical seals. Although unable to return to Tyria due to the seals, except at Halloween of course, at which he would make an annual appearance, Mad King Thorn rose to notoriety within the underworld. Oh shit, here we go. So coming to a sub-realm of his own, in 1079 AE, the ascension of Queen Salma to the Thorn of Creta broke the seals, and his lunatic court set about attempting to break the rest of them, so that he may be as powerful in Tyria as he was in the underworld. A selection of artifacts from his life was gathered, and a suitable vessel, and a suitable vessel for a spirit was obtained from a mausoleum. After his court's failure, the Mad King's presence influence was not felt for a long time, and he became a folklore used to scare children. However, in 1325 AE, over 2 centuries after his court's failure, the Mad King had a dramatic return, shattering the Lion's Court in the Grand Piazza of Lion's Arch, and assaulting the citizens with insidious pranks and terrible jokes. attempting to break free into Tyria, his return was opposed by Magister Tassi and foiled by heroes, obviously us, who ventured straight into the Mad King's realm, defeating him in his own game as well as in battle. So this is obviously, a Halloween event where Mad King Thorn, aka Prince Oswald, comes to Tyria, every year. So for those of you who are new to the game, once this event starts, you're gonna start noticing stuff happening around the world where Mad King portals will start to I'm sorry, not Mad King portals. What are they? They're haunted doors. Excuse me. I'm sorry. You're gonna see haunted doors start, spawning around the map, and things are gonna be coming through. There'll be like random creatures, skeletons, other stuff will be coming through, and you're gonna have to kill them to gain access to the doors so that you can go into the Mad King's realm, the Mad King's labyrinth, where pretty much the underworld resides. And it's pretty much like a really expansive big labyrinth where a bunch of players will zerg through and just kill all these creatures, these liches, these skeletons, all these really powerful champions, and all these really tough creatures. And these aren't your average normal typical champions. These things are hard to kill. I mean, I've done this several times, and I've seen them wipe out zergs, just obliterate them, but it's really fun. They have candy corn nodes there. You can use those as for currency to trade and craft and all that stuff, so that's pretty cool. They also have the Mad King's clock tower, which, oh my god, it's for those of you guys who are into jumping puzzles, good luck with this. It's basically a big clock tower, but it's like in the underworld, it's like destroyed and everything. It's all messed up. You got like debris and parts all over the place that you have to use as platforms to get to the top of the tower. All the while, the undead of the underworld are like trying to get its way up there to kill you. So it's really timed. You got to be quick. You can't sit around and take your time to make decisions on where you're gonna want to jump to next. So you really got to make it up there quick. And then if you guys heard me say before, the Mad King also comes to Lion's Arch, and it's really amusing. The reason why I love it, because he tells really funny jokes, really bad puns, he pulls pranks. It's hilarious. And my favorite thing is that he plays the Mad King Says, which is like Simon Says, obviously. But my very first time experiencing this, I was in the bank and I was just doing stuff with my bank, and I was getting my stuff ready, and then I hear someone talking in the background, like telling jokes. Like, what the heck is that? So I come outside the bank and I just see a train of I see a train of a whole bunch of players just following this really tall the Pumpkin King looking-ish guy. I was like on fire, it was fucking awesome. And then he goes to the Lion Square, where everyone gathers, and he'll have you do a task which you have to emote it out, so it's like you're playing the Mad King Says, Simon Says. And it was really fun. It was amusing. You get a small achievement for it, but I loved it. It was awesome. And I mean, I have the costume and everything. I'm getting ready for the event this year. So, just to keep you guys up to date, for those of you guys that already know about this, and if I missed a lot of information, I'm sorry, but this was more for people who are new to the game, who don't know anything about Mad King Thorn, and wondering how Halloween's going to be for them this year, and what the seasonal events are going to be like. I'm only covering Halloween at the moment because Halloween is my favorite seasonal event in Guild Wars 2. I love the Mad King with a passion. It's just amazing. I love the Mad King. He's awesome, and I'm definitely looking forward to this year again. It usually starts between October 22nd to October 24th, around there. One of those 2 days. I could be wrong, but it usually starts around there, where the Mad King comes. And they also have a little side story mission you could do, like a little story quest you can go into. It's instant. You actually go in there with a party as well. So actually, one of them you actually talk to. You don't talk to. I'm sorry. I mentioned him before. What was his name? It was his son. I'm trying to remember. Oh, Prince Edric. I think Prince Edric is he's in one of the instances that you go into that you actually have to fight him. But Prince Edric, yes, Bloody Prince. Let me elaborate that. Bloody Prince Edric Thorn, also known as Edric the Bloody, is nicknamed Eddie by his father, the Mad King. Was a son of the Mad King, obviously, Oswald Thorn of Kryta. In life, he was a lanky boy and a head of and with a head of spiky hair. Both lips and eyes are smeared in pitch, and he is said to have two facial expressions, scowl or smirk. And his father locked him in the shell of insanity. And in one of the story missions that you go into, you can actually fight him and face him. And you actually have to, it's like, you have to open it. You go in there with an NPC, and she ends up opening the shell of insanity so that you can confront Edric. I don't remember if you fight him. I think you do, but I think once he comes out, he goes to confront his father in the Mad King's Labyrinth, where the two of them, I think, duke it out and talk it out, whatever. So, anyway, so this was just something I wanted to cover with you guys about the Shadow of the Mad King event that comes every year in Halloween. So this is Mad King Thorn. This is what he's like. A lot of people might resent him because of the things that he's done. I mean, he's obviously a man of power and insanity. I mean, he's killed several people just to his, to assert the throne and assert power, and he kills anyone and everyone that threatens that power. And it wasn't until later that people just got fed up with him, and then they ended up rebelling against him and killing him, and obviously, oops, I dropped something. And then obviously, pretty much cutting him up and setting his body parts away. So that happened, and he had power within the underworld. So anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. This was just something I wanted to talk about because I love the Halloween event here in Guild Wars 2. It's awesome. It's amazing. I've spent like a couple Halloweens in the game, and I'm in love with it. Every time it comes by, I get all excited, and I'll literally stay up for hours just doing the events. So hopefully I'll see you guys out there as well in the Labyrinth and the Clock Tower, and we all can just have a great Halloween together. So also, I just want to apologize to everybody that I noticed I haven't been posting videos in a couple weeks. I'm having a lot of medical problems that I'm going through. I'm actually also going to need surgery soon, which is going to be coming up within the next month or so. So it's just been kind of tough, and for me. So that's why I have not been uploading videos. But anyway, that's not going to deter me from playing Guild Wars 2 and doing this event. So I'll obviously be putting up videos of this as well. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys are going to be there when the Mad King comes. And you guys all have a great Halloween, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.